rip it through the night. Savage force in sight. Fury's here, ready to ignite. Ransomer's wrath will slay with blind. Life from the string with fury. A symphony of fright. But through our experience, a boon display. And in chaos, we're here to stay. We'll shatter your eardrums, dominate the stage. A relentless onslaught, a metal rampage. Brutal madness, the Fury way. Crushing your bones, unleashing the decay. A monster of chaos will rise and reign. The tsunami experience, inflicting the pain. The tsunami experience, inflicting the pain.
Hey, what is going on, guys? It is 9:15 p.m. Central Time here in San Antonio, getting close to summer, and it is the first day of May. We're already close to the half end of the year, or I guess in like the half of the year, however you want to fucking put it. But yeah, we're back. It's Wednesday, and we have a nice little trio going on tonight. I am Drew, and with me, as always, you can see his beautiful face.
Well, I mean, if we're doing this audio, they can't see me, but Justin from SpinebusterTees, SpinebusterTees.com.
If you're in the chat room, you can see Justin's beautiful face. Joining us tonight is the man with the best voice in podcasting, the best beard in podcasting.
Thank you. Ruben Prime of Culture Attack. What is going on, everyone?
Culture Attack, people. It's a show, me and Ruben. It was on Patreon. I ended the Patreon not too long ago, so now Culture Attack is open to the public, which you can hear. Is it just primarily on Spotify, or is it anywhere else?
It's on Apple Podcasts. I'm working to put it everywhere else, but it's just on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
So Culture Attack, people. It's primarily a non-wrestling show, but we every now and then will talk about wrestling if there's anything interesting going on in the world of wrestling. But we talk about pop culture, movies, TV shows, everything else that's interesting. So look out for Culture Attack's already out. So look for Culture Attack, people, starring Ruben Prime and me. So Culture Attack.
Yes, sir.
So let's start it off tonight by talking about the draft. The WWE draft, which was 2 nights. It was on Friday, which was April 26th, and then this past Monday, April is the 29th on Monday Night Raw. We'll start with Friday. Alright, I just said I don't have the entire list in front of me. So let me just start with Raw. So Raw's picks, I'll just put it up here. Well, first of all, the champions are protected. So Damian Priest, Becky Lynch, Awesome Truth, Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes, A-Town Down Under, Bayley, and am I missing? Oh, Logan Paul, they were protected. The women's tag team champions could be drafted somewhere, which is odd. But anywho, and then the NXT champions were protected as well, as Ava was so very kindly telling Roxanne, I mean. So the Raw roster, their picks were Imperium, Gunther, and Ludwig Kaiser, not Giovanni Vinci. So maybe they'll have an extra guy come into Imperium. But this is on night 2.
Well, just to explain that, they didn't put Imperium together because they made the rosters official, or they made the draft pool official on Thursday, and Vinci got kicked out on that Monday.
Right. So Vinci is on SmackDown. So Vinci's going to be on his own. He's going to be a singles guy. So see how that goes. But Raw's first pick was Imperium, which was Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser. This occurred on night 2, which was on Raw this past Monday. Thoughts on Imperium on Raw? Matter of fact, thoughts more on Gunther being on Raw.
On Raw, totally fine. Once the roster's fully fleshed out, like good with that.
What about
I
you?
think he has a better chance to be in that main event scene on Raw versus SmackDown. Well, not really, but he could be on the main event scene for either or. But I think the chances are higher for him on Raw, in my opinion.
Right. No, I totally agree. I mean, I was thinking SmackDown, but then kind of what you just said, it's like, well, is he realistically going to beat Cody? Maybe not now, maybe somewhere down the line, but like you said, he has a better chance of beating Damian. That seems more plausible for him. What about you, Rube? What do you think?
Yeah, Gunther on Raw, nothing wrong with him being there. I think it's just a better fit for him. And I could definitely see down the road Gunther going to SmackDown and facing Cody, Cody's going to be champion throughout next year. But I definitely see him for now with all, like, Raw is stacked. So it made sense for him to stay on Raw than to go on SmackDown. Just, all the call-ups, which we'll get to in a bit. It's like he has the picking. The world is oyster when it comes to, his opponents and all the feuds and all the stories there for him to have.
Yeah. No lies detected in that statement. Next is Damage Control, Io Sky, Dakota Kai, the women's tag team champions Asuka and Kairi Sane. They were on night 2, pick 3, round 1. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this just beefs up the women's Raw roster. The women's Raw roster previous wasn't great. Now, now you got all the Damage Control there. They're not all going to be, together by the end of the year. That there's going to be a breakup of some kind. And if they all break up, you got 4 perfectly great women's wrestlers in your singles division. So, and this could possibly create a mid-card women's title that can go from show to show, just like the women's tag team titles, or they get rid of the women's tag team titles for this mid-card women's singles title that they can do too as well. So I'm for it.
And not to mention that NXT is creating their own mid-card women's title, the women's North American title. I'm all for another women's title on the main roster. The Intercontinental Women's title. I think the Intercontinental Women's title makes more sense. I think that's better. And then more than likely down the line they'll do like a U.S. women's title. The Raw roster. I can see why they are stacking the deck, so to speak, is because it's, a 3-hour show. So you're going to need more bodies out there to kind of fill up time.
Yeah, as of now, because we don't know what's actually going to happen with Netflix for sure. Like, they said that they make you bet 3 hours, but has been, like, official, and to my knowledge, at least.
Right. And also, they just announced, or not they, but there's talk about them doing trades. So you might see some people, that got traded from Raw to SmackDown and vice versa. Ruben, what do you think? Damage Control and Raw.
Oh, I love it. Again, the roster for Raw is stacked, both men's and women's, and it gets damage control away from Bayley. Like that story's finished, so it gives Bayley fresh opponents, and also gives damage control, something to do, and they're gonna break up. I think they've done all they could do. So it's just a matter of time before Io goes on her own, Asuka and Kairi go on their own, and Dakota Kai as well. But yeah, I'm definitely excited for the women's division on Raw because before SmackDown had the better women's division. So now post-draft, it's, the other way around, and all things considering with the Netflix deal that's coming up, it needed to. Raw needed that boost, but trades can happen. I could definitely see trades. Maybe we don't know the time limit for those trades, but hopefully those trades do happen. But for Damage Control being on Raw is definitely a good, getting the group all together on Raw is definitely a good fit.
Yeah, I agree. And they kind of teased Damage Control, starting something with Becky. We can get Io and Becky, which, yes, please, I'm fine with that. Yeah. More than fine with that. The next is night 2, round 2, pick 1, CM Punk.
Makes sense. I mean, you got your number 1 guy on Raw is going to be CM Punk. Your number 1 guy on SmackDown is Cody Rhodes. So, there you go.
Yeah, can't complain. I would have figured he'd be higher just because he's CM Punk, but, again, he's...
It doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, I know it's wrestling. It's not an actual draft. It's not the NFL draft, but it's whatever. But yeah, CM Punk, I'm fine with. Makes sense. It's Raw.
I mean, if you really want to shoot with it, it's like, well, the reason why CM Punk didn't go as high is because he's injury prone.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, Raw's the flagship show, always has been, and Punk is the flagship guy on Raw, so to speak. Ruben, thoughts?
Yeah, like Punk being on Raw, like of course, like goes without saying, top guy. Especially he's feuding with Drew currently, so it doesn't make any sense for him to just go to SmackDown. Wouldn't make any sense. But yeah, him, him being injured right now. I mean, he looked pretty good on Monday. So he's not 100%, but he's definitely close to it.
He's closer, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably a couple more months, maybe.
Yeah, just a few more months, but definitely before SummerSlam, he should be 100%, like definitely cleared. And, Drew and CM Punk, they've been cooking, on the program, off the program, they've been cooking. So I'm happy to see him be on Raw, and this feud is going to feed countries, as they say. It's going to feed countries, definitely.
Yeah, and that was a great segment with Punk and Drew, where Punk was all the way up in the box seats and telling Drew, I'm not at home, I'm up here, you little bitch. And then Drew follows him, and then Punk's in the ring, turning his back to him, saying, I'm going to make your life a living hell. So, and there was that cute video of Punk going up to the stands, and not to the stands, but I guess going up to where the box seat is, and there's 2 little girls who are Drew McIntyre fans that had a sign that says CM Poop, and Punk just laughed. He's like, "Oh, that's cool. I need to sign that." So he actually signed in, took pictures of them. So that was kind of a cute video. Night 2, round 2, pick 3 is the returning Braun Strowman.
Good.
I mean, I can't complain. I mean, I don't have a problem with Braun. I'm fine with it. I mean, it's weird now seeing him with hair again, because he was doing the Goro from Mortal Kombat look for a while. But yeah, he's back. He came back in a segment with Logan Paul, Judgment, or not so much Judgment Day, but Finn, JD, who got fucking knocked right in the fucking dome with Patrick Mahomes' Super Bowl rings, and yeah, it was gnarly. I mean, he's got a big ass head, so you can probably. He probably was that was sustainable for him, but
the big target.
Yeah, there you go. And then Braun came out to make the save for Jey Uso, and then Braun got in Mahomes' face, and then his offensive line was there to back him up. So there you go. Good to see Braun. The LWO: Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, and Joaquin Wilde, Zelina Vega, and Carlito. Night 2, round 3, pick 1.
Good that they split up LWO and Legado, so I'm fine with it.
Do you think it's weird that Carlito got drafted with them, even though Carlito just turned heel?
No, because he was part of the LWO when the draft pool locked on Thursday when you turned on Friday. So he was still part of the LWO when the draft pool locked.
Right. All right. But yeah, good for the LWO, like you said. Splitting up these factions so they don't have to like constantly work with each other anymore. Give them something new to do. So, Ruben, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, getting Legado and LWO, separated, it's like best for business because they've done all they could do, and we need fresh feuds, fresh matches, fresh stories, and the story that they got here with Carlito It's very intriguing, and it could, definitely. I mean, it's proving Dominic right. It's kind of like it's this thing, like everyone's turning on Rey Mysterio. Like, I mean, Dominic is starting to become more like an honest guy. I mean, he's a scumbag, but he's becoming a little bit more honest. So that they got that going on. They got Dragon Lee, who's definitely the future. So they got a lot of things going on that they could do on Raw. And especially they could revisit Dom and Ray, for sure. So that's they got a lot of moving parts that they can, interchange with LWO going to Raw.
All right, and then there's a segment with LWO and Dom where Dom is hurt, and then Ray's saying, "What the hell is that on your face, Dirty Sanchez?" Dom trying to look more and more like his shoot real father Eddie, more and more.
Yeah.
So looking like Los Gringos. What is it? Los Gringos Americanos. Justin, was that it?
Los Gringos Locos.
Los Gringos Locos, yeah. With Art Bar.
Yep.
Look at Google that name, people. You might not find good news about that, but just never mind. Next is Drew McIntyre on Night 2, Round 3, Pick 3. This led into the segment with Punk. Drew coming out pissed off, saying, "Why was Punk drafted before me?" And that led into the segment. But Drew on Raw, which is expected, and it was also announced that he re-signed with WWE, as we all expected. But yeah, thoughts on Drew staying on Raw?
Wouldn't make sense if he went to SmackDown per storyline, so good job, Triple H, keeping continuity.
Same. Wouldn't make any sense for him to go to SmackDown. Just storyline-wise, logic-wise, wouldn't have made any sense. And, good on WWE for re-signing Drew. Like Drew mentioned earlier. There was no doubt he was going anywhere else. Like, WWE is his home, and he's doing some good work, like good character work. And for him to just up and leave wouldn't made sense either. So I'm glad he's on WWE, still on WWE, and he's still on Raw. So the summer of Drew is gonna be amazing. Like, again, it's gonna feed countries. This feud here. Once Punk gets healthy, I know Drew has a hyperextended elbow too. But when those two are healthy, and they're doing some good stuff right now, verbally. So imagine when they get in the ring, like, again, this feud is gonna cook, as the young lads will say. Like, I can't wait for this feud.
It was a feud that I don't think anyone expected to be as entertaining as it is, and here we are. I mean, Drew is obviously, he's on the best run of his career as far as a character goes.
Yep. And all because of an injury. Like, something cool came out of something, like, messed up, like an unfortunate accident. But, like Bob Ross will say, you don't make mistakes. You make happy accidents. And
happy accidents.
and this feud was a happy accident because we weren't expecting it to get, like, to where we are now. And then you take a negative and spin into a positive, and we got it. And again, can't wait for what these two guys are going to do down the road,
Yes, sir. The Judgment Day, Finn Balor, Dominic, and JD McDonough, Night 2, Round 4, Pick 1. Rhea happens to be absent from that draft choice. Do you think there's a reasoning behind that, or do you think they're going to label her as a free agent?
No, she was injured, and she was not in the draft pool due to that.
So was Seth.
So yeah, Seth too. But regardless, though, she's gonna be. It doesn't matter. She's gonna be on Raw. Like it.
Right.
It doesn't. Yeah. Like it doesn't. The conversation of, like, is there a reason why it doesn't matter. She's gonna be on Raw. The whole Liv Morgan thing and Dominic thing. Like, she can't do that shit from SmackDown, so, like, she's gotta be on Raw when she comes back. She has the whole beef with Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan, in my opinion, will eventually become the women's champion. and there's your feud. In the late summer, early fall. So,
which they did, WWE's great at doing these like Easter eggs. Which there was an interview I think with like Jey Uso or something, where you see in the back, you see Liv Morgan coming out of a dressing room, and then like 30 seconds later, you see Dom coming out of that same dressing room. So looks like they're going with Justin's idea, his idea. He pitched it of Liv and Dom possibly doing something on the side. You know what I mean?
She's Dom's getting that Gok 8000 from Liv Morgan. So,
lucky man. Which will in turn cause a massive Rhea Ripley face turn. Which at this point, it's like she's already a face. People cheer, they love her, so why not? And people hate Liv because she injured Rhea. So, and then Dom's a scumbag.
People hate Liv?
I guess it's half and half in storylines because she injured Rhea and Liv's going with it.
Storyline, but
and Liv's like, oh, you're like, ooh, boo hoo, I injured your favorite wrestler, but she injured me, so fuck all you.
Okay, I get you. Yeah.
And then we talked about it a few weeks ago, where I think you asked me, about the Liv Morgan online hate. I'm like, yeah, just idiots. Who cares? Just people take it seriously.
Yeah, which is completely unjustified.
But to Liv's credit,
something wrong injures Sting, and he comes back, and it's just people who are being hypocrites. So,
but to Liv's credit, she's going along with it because she'll find Twitter posts and repost them and just post a crying emoji or something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
absolutely.
But Rube, thoughts on the Judgment Day?
Yeah, I mean, again, wouldn't make any sense for them to be drafted to SmackDown, of course. That's the logic there. And there's definitely story of Rhea with Liv and Dom as well. And of course with Damien and the rest of Judgment Day, there's gonna be a breakup. When that breakup happens, you're gonna get to, over as hell, babyfaces and Damien, and then Rhea, of course. She's already there, but with Damien, it's slowly getting there with him because he was he was pissed. He was pissed on Monday night. So definitely that the Judgment Day breakup, it's in motion already. It's just a few things unexpected happen with Rhea getting injured, but it's definitely on its way to happen. So it's just all part of the plan. And again, just gotta wait and see. And no complaints with them staying on the Raw.
All right. Next, the Mad Dragon, Ilya Dragunov, Night 2, Round 4, Pick 3. Kind of expected. More than likely gonna feud with Gunther, maybe sooner than later. But Ilya and Raw, what do you think? Give me a second.
He's not feuding with Gunther, he's joining Imperium.
Yep, I agree.
He's joining Imperium. And then eventually that will break up to feud with Gunther, but you need Ilya in a group. People can know who he is because, face it, these casuals don't watch NXT. They'll get to know who he is. Then once he becomes over in the group and he turns babyface, then you can have him feud with Gunther at that particular point in time. But right now, I think he'll be joining Imperium in some fashion. So, because Imperium is not Imperium without at least 3 people. So, and Giovanni Vinci ain't gonna do it. The only person that really fits will be Ilya Dragunov. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I guess save that for a rainy day, maybe like a Mania or whatever. But I'm happy to see Ilya. You know how we feel. Can you guys hear me, by the way?
Yep.
Yeah, we could hear you.
Okay, something's wrong with my mouse pad, and I was trying to exit out to see what I can do about it. Yeah, I'm fine with Ilya on Raw, as we kind of all are. But Rube, what do you think?
Yeah, I love Ilya. Became a fan of his when back when he was in NXT UK and he was feuding with Gunther. I mean, Walter. I still call him Walter, but you know, back with those two feuding and Jesus, the matches that they had and the matches that they're going to have down the road is going to be, it's going to be fire. It's going to be amazing. And, you know, just love Ilya's intensity, and I see a lot of his training, like videos online, and it's like, damn, like this dude is like they don't make him like that anymore.
Man, he can sell his ass off too, man. That's the other thing about Ilya.
Yeah, like he is like one of like the best in the business, and the fact that we knew he was going to be drafted, just the fact that it happened, that's confirmed. Like it was a good feeling. His reaction, I loved his reaction, being, you know, finding out he was being drafted to Raw, and yeah, he's long overdue. Like, he did all he can do in NXT, so now we get to see what he can do on the main roster. Because of course, you know, not everyone watches NXT. I mean, me including, don't watch it regularly, but I know what he's capable of doing. So I'm excited, you know, for him to be on the main roster, of course. But yeah, like, you know, shout outs to Ilya.
All right, and if you heard any banging in the background, there was a problem with my mouse pad. It just froze for some reason. So I got it fixed, by the way. All right. The New Day, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, Night 2, Round 5, Pick 1. It's expected. It's New Day.
Honestly, I probably would have had them on SmackDown. My personal preference. I just think the tag team side of SmackDown is a little thin. Versus on Raw, like, you know, you do have more because you got the Creeds, you got the LWO that gets sprung from the LWO, got the, you know, the Judgment Day, you know, JD and Finn, you got possibly the new Imperium, you know what I mean? You still got Alpha Academy, the jobber version of Alpha Academy now, you got Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. You got a lot of teams on Raw versus SmackDown. You do got the Street Profits. You got the tag team champions. It was really just two singles guys put together. You do got the OC and possibly Tama Tonga and maybe Jacob Fatu whenever he comes in, and DIY as well. But it feels kind of thin on SmackDown. I think, you know, and Apollo Crews and Shantae Dons, they haven't done anything yet. So
Right.
I think SmackDown could benefit from one more team, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the way you put it makes sense. A lot of these guys that have been stuck on these shows, you would expect them to go to other shows. Like, New Day's been stuck on Raw. I don't want to say stuck on Raw, but they've been on Raw for the longest time. So I would have expected, maybe go to SmackDown for a change of scenery. And also, I just thought of something. Wasn't NXT supposed to be maybe like a third brand? Like, nobody... I mean, I guess the way it looks at it doesn't make sense because, like, they're developmental, but still, like, you would expect...
I'm glad no one went to fucking NXT because you already know how I feel about that. Like, let's send Ricochet down to NXT. It's like, what the fuck, why? Like, yeah, I mean, it's...
Send people...
to me, it's pointless. You should be, again, focusing on your future. You're like sending people like that back down there is not going to benefit anyone. Baron Corbin was great down there, right? But did he need to be tag team champion with Braun Breaker? What did that do at the end? It didn't really do anything. It really just prolonged Braun Breaker being called up to the main roster. That's all it really did. You know what I mean? So I like NXT right now with the way it is. It's not perfect, but it's perfect for that particular situation as far as developing those talents there, letting other people gain opportunities down there.
Right. Where was I? We were still on New Day. Ruben, what do you think about the New Day?
Yeah, I think they should have went to SmackDown, in my opinion. Again, well stacked enough, so I think them being on SmackDown would have benefited. And also, as far as like a handful of people, you know, as far as this draft is concerned, I really think that some main roster talent should have gone to NXT. there's like a few people on the main roster that's kind of like directionless. We'll get to that person. But yeah, definitely, I think New Day could have benefited from being on SmackDown. And yeah, nothing else to say about that, just except but that.
Right. Next, this is kind of surprising to me. Lyra Valkyria, Night 2, Round 5, Pick 3. I'll say surprising because I was expecting her to go to SmackDown. That would have been a little bit more interesting for her. But now she's on Raw. It was kind of cool because they were showing the entire NXT roster in the Performance Center, just watching the show and reacting to whoever got drafted. And Lyra, when she got drafted, she was genuinely surprised. Like, she seemed happy. I don't know. I was expecting her to be in NXT a little longer, but they're obviously ready for her. They see something in her, and again, I like Lyra. I love Lyra. I know Justin likes Lyra. Ruben, I don't. How do you feel about Lyra Valkyria?
She's cool. She's cool. Reminds me of Becky Lynch a little bit. Definitely reminds me of her a little bit. But she's cool. Fantastic talent. I think she's done all she can do down there. So I think Raw's a good fit.
Yeah.
Because they definitely, the women's division on Raw was like lacking, so they needed more women's talent on there. So I think her being on Raw is fine. And 3-hour Raw, again, like for the time being, we don't know like what the future holds for Raw being 3 hours, 2 hours, but yeah, like I definitely see her being a good fit for Raw, and all the feuds. They could potentially have a match with Becky. They have a feud with. They could revisit. I believe her and Rhea had a. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, with Rhea. So I think they could revisit that. They could do that feud, and the sky's the limit. Definitely, the sky's the limit. So they got a lot of talent there that she can feud with. But yeah, like I like Valkyria.
Yeah, either way for Lyra, she is a rookie that's going to be on the bench for a little bit until some other women get phased out. Like her on SmackDown is not going to do any justice because you got Bayley, Bianca, Jade, you got Nia Jax, who's ahead of her in the pecking order, and obviously Tiffany Stratton. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't work for Lyra on SmackDown. I think for her development is probably better on Raw, due to being more close to Becky Lynch, and I think Becky will kind of help her more or less backstage with certain shit. Maybe we'll see, because Becky Hogan is Becky Hogan, but I think it's better for I think it's better for Lyra to be on Raw due to that. And just think about all the banger matches that shit. Lyra versus Kyrie, Lyra versus Io, Lyra versus Dakota, Lyra versus Asuka, Lyra, like the list goes on and on. Lyra versus Katana Chance, Lyra versus Kiana James. Like, I even know we've seen it, but still, it's like, what I mean? Lyra versus Baszler, Zoe Stark. So I think for what Triple H is building up Raw to be, I think Lyra being on Raw is the better fit for her.
Do you see her? Because you just mentioned Becky, because they have that that background with them. Because I think Lyra trained at Becky's like wrestling school or something, or was it just the school that Becky went to? I don't know. But do you think like that can be like a storyline down the line where like Lyra teams with Becky and then they turn that into a feud or whatever the fuck?
I mean, they can, but they're gonna feud. I don't think they need a team together. That's so like, what I mean? It's so simple, unimaginative. Like, it's
sometimes simple can work.
It doesn't do anything. Like, Does nothing.
I don't know. We'll see. Next is the Final Testament, Karrion Kross, Scarlett. The authors of Pain and Paul Ellering, Night 2, Round 6, Pick 1. Yeah, okay. That was kind of my thought. Okay.
I mean, it's a shakeup. I don't know. It's gonna be tough for Karrion. Now, I will say this: it's gonna be tough for Karrion Kross. However, I think this is going to be like as far as like the Intercontinental title and the World Heavyweight title, I think it'd be a little bit easier for him to win one of those versus being on SmackDown, because he ain't touching no fucking Cody Rhodes. Well, that's just point blank, period. U.S. title, maybe, but, Logan Paul, I mean? Like, he doesn't wrestle as much. It'll be harder for him. He's not going to get in a feud with Logan Paul, Karrion Kross, like, yeah, you know what I mean? I can say Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn, absolutely. You know what I mean? So, I think that the change is probably better for them, but even at that, he has this big pecking order on Raw of guys like fucking Drew, Punk, Jey Uso, like Sheamus, even Ricochet. Ricochet have him in that pecking order as well. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Ilya, Finn, Braun Breaker. You know what I mean? Like Braun Strowman. It's gonna be tough for him, but I think it's easier for him due to I think these titles are a little bit more attainable on Raw than SmackDown, even though it's a big pecking order.
I don't know. I'm just kind of. I'm not really feeling Final Testament personally. I was fine with the idea of Kross getting his own faction, but my problem with the Final Testament is that you put two big guys with Kross, who is kind of a big guy already. Like, I was expecting like guys who are not essentially smaller, but just like don't take away the attention from him.
I'll tell you the issue. That has nothing to do with anything. I don't care if they're 20 times bigger than Kross or Kross 20 times bigger than other people. They don't win. That's the issue.
Yeah, I know they suck. Like they never win.
They don't. Well, hold on. I ain't going. Hold on. Let's chill.
They're bad. They're pretty bad. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They're not bad. That's a bad way of putting it. They're just not being booked to win. If they're not being booked to win, they're going to perceive as less than to the audience. That's all it is. If they were winning matches, when the stigma of the Final Testament seems a little bit more better, like, oh man, this group is really working. That's the issue. They're not winning. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, as far as like, let's say with the new bloodline, right? This is not gonna happen, right? This is not gonna happen. Tama Tonga, Solo, similar, almost say similar size, but height wise, right? Obviously Tonga's, more shredded, Solo's big. You're gonna get Jacob Fatu to come in, all that stuff, right? Similar size to Solo. If they were to be losers, right? Let's say they are booked to be, even though it's not gonna happen, but let's say they were booked to be losers. They lose every fucking thing, right? Wouldn't you think people will be saying the same thing about them as they're saying about the Final Testament?
Yes.
It'll be the same conversation. So it really what it all comes down to is, are you getting wins on TV? Are you being treated seriously? If you're not, then you're going to be looked at less than. If they start to get wins and start to put things together, at this point, I think it's looking pretty bleak, to be honest. Then they'll start to be looked very fondly upon. But I think it's going to be very tough for them on Raw. I think they're going to have a very hard time on Raw. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I think, and another thing too, I think the crowd is just not giving a fuck.
No,
I like them, but just the overall stigma of them, the crowd just doesn't give a fuck. So
exactly, Ruben.
With Final Testament being on Raw, I think it's good because, like Justin was saying, no way he's sniffing Cody's world titles. No way. And Logan Paul, they're saving Logan Paul for LA Knight potential right there. So it just makes sense for Karrion Kross and the Final Testament to be on Raw, since they do need more depth there. And as far as I like what Karrion Kross is doing, in the Final Testament, that is just beating up the New Cat Republic. Just randomly just beating people up, just causing just chaos backstage is something that should be done, just to get people's attention, to show them that, hey, we mean business, we're about our business.
They're trying. They're trying with them. It's just the crowd's just not giving a fuck about it.
Yeah. I think they just got to do more of that. Because there's one way to win the audience. You can have matches, but I think what they do, outside the ring, will help them when come time to get in the ring. So I think they got to just do more of that backstage stuff, vignettes, just beating the hell out of people. Just beat the hell out of people backstage. Make it an unsafe work environment. Make people fear for their lives.
What would you think that they can do to, I guess to get a better reaction from the casual fans? What are they missing for the casual fans to start giving them more of a, not a positive reaction, but just a reaction in general when they come out?
I said this about Cross's booking, and I don't mean to go off topic, but
yeah,
I was saying this about Cross's booking in general. Is just when he came back, yeah, we're all happy because I like Cross. We like Cross, and then they just throw him in a kind of a meaningless feud with Drew that wasn't really all that great, to be honest. And then they just book him as it's weird because they book him as the spooky guy that is in the back cutting promos saying I'm going to cause terror and destruction, and it's you don't really do anything. You haven't really done anything that makes people go, oh shit. When Mark Henry did the Hall of Pain thing, he actually lived up to the moniker. He would just beat the fuck out of people. He attacked random stagehands. And it's holy shit.
Whose fault is that? That's not his fault. It's the booker's fault. It's Triple H's fault for not.
I know.
Yeah.
The booking, the booking is weird. And with Cross, it's just do something with him. Have him beat up a stagehand because he looked at Scarlett the wrong way.
Yeah.
He needs to be that guy that, the way he's presenting himself, he needs to be booked as anytime he comes out, people are like, oh shit, it's this guy. Not, oh shit, it's this guy? Really?
You know what they need to do? Have them attack the top guys. Have them attack CM Punk. Have them attack fucking Seth Rollins, right? Have them attack top guys.
Yeah.
And actually put him over. I mean, have a 3-match series. Have them, win one, lose one, and win the final one, right? Because if you have them, let's say, go against CM Punk, right? Have them win the final match in their feud. It doesn't hurt CM Punk. It does not hurt CM Punk whatsoever. But it will elevate Karrion Kross, right? If you have him in a series against Seth Rollins and do the same thing, it elevates Karrion Kross, does not hurt Seth Rollins. So they can do that if they want to take a risk with them. And at the end of the day, look, Judgment Day is going to break up sooner rather than later. Mm-hmm. Who's going to be the only faction, only top faction left on? You got two. You got Imperium, and then you got the Final Testament. You know what I mean? I say that they're going to be big or anything like that. I'm just saying, faction-wise, you're only going to have two left. I mean, Alpha Academy doesn't really count because, yeah, to me that it doesn't really count for Alpha Academy. But still,
Right. Ruben, do you have any thoughts before we move on?
Yeah, I just think that they just need to book Karrion Kross, just to be a monster. Just have him beat up someone for looking at Scarlett wrong. They need to, this is one thing to say, I'm going to bring chaos and darkness and destruction and Armageddon and all that. But if you don't have a way to back that up, you're just talking, and people want to see action with that talking. And you can do that. And there's, again, Raw is pretty stacked in terms of, the mid-card talent, upper mid-card So you can definitely get, if Seth were, I don't think Seth is coming back anytime soon because, he's going to be out. But let's say if he was, available, that would be someone that Cross can have like a, best of series. And that can put Karrion Kross over. That's all he needs. He needs wins against credible opponents, established opponents. But if you just have him beat, jobbers or whatever, or just have him lose all the time, then people are not going to believe or take stock in Karrion Kross. And I like Karrion Kross. He's dope, but it's just the booking that has to, be behind him and the group. And it's just, they're in that holding pattern right now. So we just got to wait and see what they're going to do now that he's on Raw. So just presenting him well, having win matches, just beat the shit out of people. Like, again, all for an unsafe work environment. Like, maybe Karrion Kross can do that hashtag, just beat people up or whatever. But, they could just, they could make it happen. It's just with creative at the end of the day.
There you go. Big Bronson Reed, drafted as the third pick in round 6 on night 2. Good. I mean, he was already on Raw to begin with. Again, just most of these guys, I'm like, maybe a change of scenery could have benefited them a lot better, but I don't know, whatever. Thoughts?
Same thoughts as you.
You think Bronson should have went to SmackDown?
Yeah. I mean, I think SmackDown it's a good roster for what it is, because I think this version of SmackDown is like the new land of opportunity that happened in 2016, where the roster wasn't as stacked but ended up becoming the better show than Raw back in 2016. I think Bronson Reed would have benefited from being over there on SmackDown just due to I think he would have been good for a great mid-card feud over there. Again, Logan Paul is champion, but once Logan Paul is not the champion over there, it is fucking wide open to any guys like a Bronson Reed or a Carmelo Hayes or a LA Knight, for one of the guys like that, Shinsuke Nakamura, guys like that to become a mid-card champion over there.
And he also could have been a nice opponent for Cody. Like just like a random pay-per-view where you have the white meat babyface Cody versus, big evil Bronson Reed who wants to tear him in half and blah, blah, blah. Like, I mean, again, the story writes itself. Bronson's like, Cody, I broke you in half and I'm taking your title. That doesn't really sound like Bronson, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Ruben, what do you think?
Yeah, I like Bronson Reed. So far he's had, pretty, decent run. I would like for him to win, mid-card belt, but again, it's just the rosters are stacked. So it's like, unfortunately, you got to have winners and losers in this case, but maybe he could have benefited from being on SmackDown. But again, either way, he's going to be losing because, again, he's not going to go over Cody. And right now with Sami Zayn, what they're doing with him and with Chad Gable and Alpha Academy, like that's the feud surrounding the mid-card belt. And he could be put in the mix, but I think for that feud, he's going to be the fall guy, unfortunately. Don't like that, but it's just how it is. But he's Bronson Reed. He's dope. I like Bronson Reed.
All right. No, I agreed. I do like Bronson. Jey Uso, night 1, round 1, pick 2 on Raw. Makes sense. I think if they're gonna go into the direction they're going with what's happening on the with the bloodline, with Fatu and Tamatonga and Solo, I don't know. I would have figured he went to SmackDown. I mean, again, shit can happen, trades can happen, whatever. But for now, Jey Uso's on Raw. He'll be wrestling for his not his first world title match, but I guess his first world title match on a pay-per-view at Backlash this Saturday. So, what do you think, guys?
He wrestled Roman though.
Oh, and then never mind. I forget.
I'm like, I was so confused. Like, did he wrestle Roman? But regardless, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, no really. I mean, I'm gonna kind of question once they do this Bloodline versus Bloodline storyline. Like, one's on Raw, one's on SmackDown. Like, But outside of that, I mean, yeah, it's fine.
I'm on the show, Oos. No, I'm here. Ruben, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, for the time being, he doesn't need to be on SmackDown right now. Towards Survivor Series, that's when we'll see, Jay on SmackDown, or, and I mean, Roman has, obviously Roman does still have some pull, so definitely there'll be, again, the trades. You can weave that in with the trades, getting Jay on SmackDown to help, Roman, and then get the OG bloodline back. So for now, having Jay on Raw isn't, it's not a bad thing. Again, mid-card, upper mid-card is stacked there, so definitely don't see an issue with him on Raw.
All right. Seth freaking Rollins was the 4th pick for round 1 on night 1. He's injured. Apparently he's going to be out for quite a while. He'll be out more than likely till the end of the year, which, good for him. He needs that time, and maybe we can see him at the Rumble, or I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, Rollins on Raw makes sense because, he's been on Raw this long. But what do you guys think?
I mean, yeah, still has some issues with Punk and McIntyre, so yeah.
Unfinished business. That's all I'm gonna say. And also Becky's on Raw, so
yeah, that's the biggest thing. Yeah.
So he ain't going nowhere. He's not going to SmackDown. He's staying on Raw. And yeah, definitely has. He definitely has unfinished business with Punk and Drew. So just when he comes back, just built in stories with the two of them.
Next is Badass Braun Breaker. Night 1, round 2, pick 2. Good. I mean, didn't Braun Breaker sign a contract with SmackDown? I'm a little confused.
Yeah. Yep, but that was null and voided because of the draft.
I don't know. I would have preferred Braun on SmackDown. That's just me. But I like Braun. They're kind of giving him that Goldberg push, so to speak. I mean, granted, he's wrestling underneath guys, so of course he's going to go out there and squash them. I know Dutch Mantel, just said he's just... It's weird because the headline was that, he slams him as, he's just another Goldberg, and it's I read the quote. He said, but I like him. I want to see where this goes. So I know Braun can work. He's shown that he can work. But yeah, they're giving him that Goldberg push, so we'll see how this goes. Thoughts?
I mean, you want Braun Breaker on SmackDown? I have to disagree because you got Carmella on SmackDown. You got to have the two blue chippers separate, in my opinion. So, if Braun was on SmackDown, then Mel should be on Raw. I don't think they should be together at this point in time, at least. Maybe in a couple years for sure. But yeah, Braun being on Raw, he's fine. He's gonna be one of the mid to the top guys on Raw early 2025 for sure. He's gonna be featured prominently at WrestleMania next year.
Oh yeah, Ruben.
Yeah, you gotta have those two separate. You can't have Carmelo and Braun on the same brand. Gotta have those two guys separate. And yeah, them making a whole big deal with signing Braun Breaker to exclusive contract was kind of it's kind of hokey, especially if the draft was down the road. It just didn't make any sense, but I get it. Draft made things null and void, but yeah, Raw, he again stacked rosters. Again, like going back to that, just Raw is stacked. He has built, he's fused waiting for him, and looks like first one's going to be Sheamus. And, you know, that's a good, like, introductory feud right there. So I'm excited for Braun. I just hope that he wrestles more, not just squashes, because, you know, you've done that. Like, you've done that, but now we need to move on for him to have, like, you know, actual wrestling matches, because he can wrestle.
Agreed. Liv Morgan, night 1, round 2, pick 4. You know, just plausible sense because she's on Raw and she's, you know, she's having her heel run and everything that's going on with Rhea. So yeah, just keep her on Raw.
Yep.
Same.
Yep. Ricochet, night 1, round 3, pick 2. I don't know. Would have liked to see him on SmackDown, but that's just me. But yeah, Ricochet.
I mean, Samantha Urban's on Raw, so that's all.
Okay.
They should move Samantha Urban on SmackDown. Yeah.
Oh, so she's not. Wait, who's on SmackDown? Who's the announcer on SmackDown?
Michael Rome.
I thought he got moved to NXT.
No.
Alicia Taylor's the ring announcer.
Oh yeah, I forgot about her. But yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, back in the day they used to not give a shit if you were dating someone. They're like, all right, we're gonna move you on this show, so who gives a shit? Nowadays they're just like, hey, you want to be with your girlfriend? That's fine. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, Vince wouldn't give a fuck. Imagine if they still did that today, man. So yeah, just so you know, we know where Charlotte's going. So, like,
You don't want to go to SmackDown because your girlfriend's on Raw.
Yeah, it's just we know Charlotte's gonna be on SmackDown. So,
oh yeah. Rube, thoughts?
Yeah, again, Ricochet being on Raw, you know, Samantha Irving's on Raw too. Makes sense. And I mean, also Braun is on Raw as well, Braun Strowman. So they could, you know, if they want, they could pair them up for the time being.
Yeah, they used to be a tag team for that.
Yeah, like that was a good pairing. That was just a makeshift tag team, but that actually like kind of gelled together.
Yeah, that it worked. It worked for the time being. Yeah.
Yeah, so it will, you know, maybe they'll do that again, or maybe Braun can end up being in the new Wyatt family. Like anything's possible. I think towards the latter. The long-term plans for Braun now that he's back, and Eric Rowan as well. They news he officially signed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing too. We can be getting a new Wyatt family, you know, like Uncle Howdy. So again, I'm curious to see. You know, I'm willing to see what they're gonna do with Braun, because he looks good. Dude is like jacked. I mean, that's like a trend. Like everyone's coming back jacked. Like AJ Styles, Orton, Braun. Hey, sheesh. But yeah, I'm happy Braun is back, and you know, happy for Ricochet. Ricochet he's been featured more prominently as well. So I'm glad that he's been doing it. You know, doing the thing on Raw.
Agreed. Next is Sheamus, night 1, round 3, pick 4. Good for Sheamus. Just hate the fact that he got shit online because he came back with a little pooch. You know, just I didn't cut his head off for it. To be honest, I didn't even notice it when he came back. I'm like, oh, Sheamus is back. He looks good, and then. Of course, wrestling fans have to just be dicks, and it's just like, really? So
I do gotta say this. I don't know if I brought up last week. If he were to be in AEW, you would have shat on it, I think.
Well, to be fair, in WWE, they make sure everyone stays in shape. In AEW, they get paid. But like I mentioned when you brought that up, if they don't care, I don't care. I'll just keep it as simple as that. But
that's fair.
Yeah, I'll just keep it like that. But yeah, Sheamus, old Shema on Raw. What do you think?
Yeah, just him being on Raw makes sense, especially since the IC title is on Raw, and that's the last title they needs to win. So down the road, I definitely think he can win that belt, have like a nice run with that belt, and Drew story with Drew, Gunther revisited, Ilya, like
Oh yeah,
Ron,
those are gonna be like
Breaker.
fucking like banger matches. No pun intended.
Yeah, like I mean, listen, while I'm watching a match, I don't mind having a burger or two, so we can have a banger, banger after banger after banger, while having burger after burger after burger. I don't like. Why not both, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
So,
burgers
I'm
are fucking
fun.
awesome.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, good for Shamo. Alpha Academy, night 1, round 4, pick 2. Liking the heel work so far with Chad. Chad just dressing his team down, just telling Maxine, pretty much you're an idiot, and Otis you're a disappointment, and telling Tozawa if I see you doing that dance thing again, I'm gonna kick your ass. Which looks like it's leading to possibly him saying, this obviously isn't working. I need a new Alpha Academy, and in come the Creeds.
Yep.
So that's that writes itself. But what do you guys think?
First storyline, what you said.
All right, Rube.
yeah, same. I just want the new team Gable, new Alpha Academy per Gable. I just want him to go off, and we saw a little bit of that this past Monday night. But gradually, work into the new faction being created, and the new catalyst for Gable's IC title run, because he's gonna win that IC belt. Like, I know people wanted him to win, at Mania, go up against Gunther, but I think him being heel will do so much wonders, because he does remind us a lot of Kurt Angle. He can talk, he can wrestle. He has it all. Like, it's just being heel. Him being heel and tapping into that persona will definitely, again, it's gonna feed. It's gonna cook. It's gonna feed a lot of people. So I'm excited for I'm excited for those guys, partnering up with Gable, because we definitely need like some fresh. we need a new stable, because the Alpha Academy has been, it's been just subpar,
Mm-hmm. And next is another NXT call up, which I was a little surprised by. Kiana James, night 1, round 4, pick 4. She's on Raw now, or just the main roster in general. A little surprised, because I was thinking about call ups for people that I guess maybe accomplished more, and Kiana hasn't really done anything on NXT as far as I remember. But what do you guys think?
I like Alexa Bliss when she got called up, right? When she got called up, she didn't really have much accomplishment down at NXT, and look how her career is turning out. Obviously she's not there right now, but still, I'm happy for Kiana. I'm sorry?
Carmella, another one.
Yeah. Carmella, like another one too. Yeah. I mean, a little bit bigger because she was with Enzo and Cass, but still, yes, to your point. But I'm happy for Kiana. I think she is one of the sleeper picks of this draft. I think she's one of the sleeper picks of this draft because she can go in the ring. She has a good character or whatnot. Now, she's in a very, very tough pool with women with sharks that are in this division, right? But, again, as I mentioned, not all these women are going to be around in the next 4 to 5 years. I mean, love Asuka, but she's in her 40s now. How much longer can she do this at a top level? Do you think Becky Lynch wants to be a mother at home and whatnot, right? Natalia, right? I mean, Natalia is a name that wins a lot, does take a lot of TV time, right? So women like that, I can see Kiana James, if she sticks with it, she is another one that takes a lot of TV time. Not exactly a huge winner, but she's on TV a lot. I can see Kiana James in the next, if she sticks with WWE in the next 3 to 5 years, be in one of those spots where that she may not be a multiple time world champion, even though I think she has that capability to, but she's going to be that reliable heel or babyface on TV every single week. So I think this is a sleeper pick for Raw. Very, very, very good pick.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Again, I'm not as high on Kiana as most people would be, but again, I like being proven wrong. So we'll see what she does on the main roster. Ruben, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm excited to see what she can do, what she's going to do on the main roster. Just definitely give it time. And hey, there's nothing wrong with being proven wrong. I think that's like when people impress you. When people impress you is when they prove you wrong, and I think she will. And yeah, again, Raw stacked. Like, Jesus. Like, I mean, I'm gonna say this until we're done with going over the draft, but this Raw is stacked. So I think over time, like not right away, obviously, not in the short term, but in the long term, like Justin was saying, like you will see the ROI, the return on investment with Kiana. So we just gotta wait and see where her work in NXT proves that. So he's gotta, give it time. Just slow and steady, but she can definitely be one of the standouts down the road.
All right, and then that was the last on television that was drafted. Well, I mean for Raw mainly. Here are the picks that were drafted. I guess off show. I'm gonna skim through them just because we're going a little bit over time. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, Ivar, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, the Creed Brothers and Ivy Nile, New Catch Republic, Dijak, which I'm happy for Dijak, Kaden Carter and Katana Chance, Natalia and Odyssey Jones, which where the hell's he been? But thoughts on those draft picks?
Just none. It was probably with the exception of the Creeds. None of those names there are gonna be. Well, New Cash Republic too, maybe, but like Odyssey Jones, like I understand that he's out injured, so so hopefully he comes back healthy. Guys like Dijak, like he's gonna be great for like matches and whatnot, but he's not really gonna count. He ain't winning a fucking world title. on this roster, right? Maybe flirt with the Intercontinental Championship, but it's But like the other ones on here, these are just supplemental picks to fill the roster out. Good hands on TV, good for things like main events and house show matches and things of that nature.
All right, what do you think, Rube?
I mean, besides the Creeds, New Catch Republic, I'm excited for Dijak. Definitely excited for him. I mean, he's another one that's been like doing good work in the ring and outside the ring. So I'm rooting for him because he was saddled with a horrible gimmick, and he stuck through that during the dark times, the before times, and I'm glad that he was able to get out of that rut, reinvent himself, and been putting on a good amount of work on NXT now that he's back on the main roster as Dijak. I'm excited. I'm definitely excited for him. Definitely, I can see him being an IC title contender. I mean, it'll be nice for him to win. Like at least one title, but I mean, we'll see. Because anything can happen, but I'm excited for him, like most of all.
Yeah, I'm very happy. Anyone that knows me knows I love Dijak. Like Justin said, I don't think he'll be a world champion, especially on this main roster. Maybe title shot, but that'd be like, fatal 4-way match, blah blah blah, but not like a
elimination chamber.
I mean, elimination chamber at best, but yeah, I do love Dijak. I'm happy that he's on the main. Well, I mean, technically again, but this time he's actually Dijak. He's not T-Bar or whatever the fuck he is, but good for Dijak. SmackDown. Let's go to the SmackDown picks. As we mentioned earlier, the champions are protected. So here are the SmackDown picks. Jade Cargill. I mean, she was already on SmackDown, so that's kind of a no-brainer. And then they want to keep her with Bianca Belair, who was another pick on the show. But yeah, what do you guys think?
Good. Love Jade. Yeah, Bianca and Jade are going to be tag team champions next week, so by the end of this week, so yeah.
Well, they're wrestling. They're actually wrestling for the titles this Saturday, I think.
Well, yeah, like next week. This time next week, they'll be tag champions.
Oh, yeah. Rube, thoughts?
Yeah, I'm happy with Jade being on SmackDown. No complaints here.
Mm-hmm.
No complaints here.
Yeah, same. Kevin Owens was already on SmackDown to begin with, but yeah, he was their fourth pick in round 1 on night 2. So, yeah.
You need one of those veterans to flesh out a roster of this nature, so I am fine with it.
Agreed. Rube, what do you think?
Oh, I'm sorry. Who was the
Kevin Owens.
which draft pick? Kevin. Yeah. He's like the curse is the streak is broken, I should say, because normally like every draft he switched from one brand to the other. So this time around he's staying on SmackDown. He's on the blue brand still this time around. So the streak is broken. Yeah, I mean, he still has unfinished business with, the bloodline, so there's just no point in drafting him to Raw. Like, that was something Vince would have done. So, yeah, I'm glad that he's still on SmackDown. He's still in the feud. And, yeah, just no complaints here.
Next is the Pride. Bobby Lashley, B-Fab, Street Profits. Yeah, night 2, round 2, pick 2. Yeah, I guess because they're already done with Final Testament, so Final Testament's on Raw, off to bigger and better things. I don't know, the whole Pride thing. I like Bobby Lashley, I guess, because he's getting up there in age. They want to surround him with people, and they try to do the heel thing with that because that didn't work because people were still cheering Bobby Lashley and they were still cheering the Street Profits. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
The only reason why the Pride are on SmackDown because Montez Ford is married to Bianca Belair.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there's that.
That's the reason. I'm fine with it. I'm good with it.
All right.
Same here.
All right. And Tiffany Stratton, night 2, round 2, pick 4. Kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's perfect spot for her.
Yeah, she's doing great. She's getting over. She's having great matches. The Tiffy time thing is working. It was her Tiffany Epiphany thing. So, but yeah, she's going to do big things on the main roster. She's already getting there. But we're going to check out old Tiffany. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I mean, she's perfect. She's perfect for where she's at right now. No complaints.
Same. Just no complaints for her. She's still young as hell, so the sky's the limit for her.
All right. Legado del Fantasma, Santos, Angel, and Elektra. Humberto, I'm sorry. And Humberto. Night 2, round 3, pick 2. Like we mentioned earlier, they move LWO to Raw. So they're going to have a clean slate. And let's see what they can do. Thoughts?
Yep. Agree.
Ruben.
Yeah, just get them away from the LWO. They can get with they could start another feud. But the most important thing that we separated LWO and Legado, because Jesus Christ, it was getting there. It was getting kind of stale, and I love all the parties involved, but yeah, just time to move on.
All right. Shinsuke Nakamura was on Raw for a while. Now he's on SmackDown, so let's see what he can do with a new look. What do you guys think?
This Shinsuke is at the point of his career where he's a utility player. I don't expect him in the main event. I don't expect him to really do much of anything, but to have good matches and put other guys over. So, totally fine with this.
Agreed.
You need guys like that. That's just saying, it's totally fine.
What do you think, Rube?
Yeah, this was one of the picks that I wish would have went to NXT, just for him to have a bit of resurgence. But you do need utility players, because like I mentioned earlier, you unfortunately got to have people to put over the up and coming talent. So you got to have winners and losers. It's just how it is, and especially with these rosters and how stacked they are. Like everyone can't be winning, everyone can't be on top. So it's just what it is. But yeah, Shinsuke, I'm big fan. I went back and watched the NXT Takeover match he had for his debut against Sami Zayn, and I was like, wow, like they just brought me back. So it's just like, damn, man, that so much time has passed, but I can say Shinsuke is still great. He's still great.
All right. Naomi is the next pick. Again, just her husband's on I think he's on SmackDown. He's Jimmy is going to be out for the foreseeable future with an undisclosed injury. But yeah, she's on SmackDown.
Gotta keep the black women together. Gotta keep the family together too. So
yeah, agreed.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
All right. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven are on SmackDown, and finally out of Adam Pearce's, I was gonna say hair, but they're finally away from Adam Pearce, so Adam Pearce doesn't need to drink some more as he usually does. Chelsea Green is going to be on NXT next Tuesday, and she's going to wrestle Roxanne Perez. Why? I don't know, but it's going to happen. But what do you guys think?
I think the reason is because I think Chelsea is tending to Matt Cardona, and they live in Orlando. So, yeah. So I think she may just be down there for this week and next week for that purpose. So, and I think they want to still use her on TV. So.
All right.
But as far as them being down and on SmackDown, I think it's a great pick for SmackDown, kind of like Kiana James. Not necessarily a super pick for Chelsea, but I really think that Chelsea's going to come into her own, and I can really possibly see her winning something like Money in the Bank this year.
Agreed.
Her or Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah. What do you think, Rube?
Yeah, I mean, I like Chelsea Green. I do hope that she gets more of a singles run. Like, I forgot she was in Lucha Underground and having like crazy matches with Penta. I was like,
her, Io, Kyrie, they were all down there.
Yeah,
with Penta, Ricochet, Rey Mysterio, Jeff Cobb,
just
Swerve,
fucking
stacked roster, man.
Yeah, I miss Lucha Underground. I miss Lucha Underground.
Yeah, it was really fucking good. It was really good.
But I like Chelsea Green, and maybe down the line we'll get Matt Cardona in WWE. I could see him being in WWE. It's just I know he's injured, but when he comes back, when he's healed, he'll definitely come back to the WWE.
What are you talking about? Who? Matt Cardona?
Yeah, Matt Cardona. Yeah.
I don't see it, man. I don't see it. The reason why I don't see it is because I listen to their podcast every week for wrestling figures and whatnot, and they talk about regular wrestling every now and then. And the sense that I get from him, I may be wrong. I may be totally wrong. But the sense I get from him is like he really enjoys his own schedule, and also as well, he has his own toy line as well. If he comes back to WWE, he will have to give that up, and he makes a shit ton of money with that because being in my business, I know. So I don't know. I may be wrong, but I'll be happy if he comes back. But I don't know if he wants to come back to WWE because of those endeavors he has.
True.
Well, I mean, you think with like the new like regime, they would be like, yeah, you can still have your business.
Yes and no, but there'll be conflict of interest. Because he has like indie guys on there and like some guys who wrestle for like AEW and stuff like they're like he's getting like a Ethan Page figure coming out. You see what I'm saying? So it's like
I get you.
I don't know if that can be done. I don't know if that can be done. If it's like, hey, run your business. Maybe it's like, hey, run your business, but you can't have these certain guys. Maybe so, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Unless if WWE is like, hey, we want a little bit of cut of the business, and if Cardona agrees to that, then so be it. But yeah. Plus, you also have like Mark Sterling, who is an AEW talent, obviously for now at least, because I really like Mark Sterling, but I don't think that he's gonna be AEW much longer. In my personal opinion, I don't know. Hopefully, he still has a job. And then you got fucking Brian Myers, right? Fucking Kurt Hawk is working for TNA. So even though WWE and TNA is like cordial right now too. So, but yeah.
Right. I guess the best way to put it is like I don't think WWE would necessarily have a problem with the AEW guys. I think Tony Khan would have a problem with AEW guys doing business with the WWE guys.
I don't know.
Again, just what
do you mean? Well, no, Tony has no issue with it because he has AEW guys on his. I mean, there's AEW guys like Danhausen, Ethan Page.
What I'm saying is
Perazo.
What I'm saying is if Matt Cardona were to come back to WWE and they would allow him to keep everything he has, and like he's like, hey, my friend's in AEW, he's gonna be on my show. Is that a problem? I can imagine Nick Khan would be like, not really. It's your show. But I could see Tony Khan having an issue with it because he works for WWE. You know what I mean?
I don't know about that. I don't think that really, because I don't think that really affects his business bottom line at the end of the day. Like if it affects his business bottom line, then so be it.
I don't really think it's a business. I think it's just personal. But again, it's speculation. Now, Pretty Deadly. They're the next pick for SmackDown.
Cool with it.
Yes, boy. Love
those
Pretty
guys.
Deadly. What do you think, Rube?
Yeah, good solid tag team. I know I remember their days in NXT UK and NXT proper. But I mean, yeah, another tag team, good solid tag team. So yeah, no complaints here with them.
Candice LeRae and Eddie Hartwell are the next tag team. Interesting that they got moved to SmackDown. When I don't know, I'm not saying I'm like surprised they got moved, but I don't know. But they're on SmackDown along with DIY. So they're I guess not reforming, but keeping the way, so to speak. But what do you guys think?
I think they have better upside on SmackDown for all four of those guys versus them on Raw. So
makes sense.
I think there's better opportunity for Candice, better opportunity for Johnny, better opportunity for Tommaso, better opportunity for Indy. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, no lies detected. What do you think, Rube?
Yeah, I agree. Them being on Raw they would have been lost in the shuffle when DIY had numerous tag team opportunities and they fell short. So just makes sense to move the entire group over to SmackDown. Just more opportunities for them.
Yeah, and then they can wrestle A-Town Down Under. That can be a feud, and just to kind of bring up the way. So,
Yep.
Blair Davenport from NXT. Good for Blair. Kind of like Kiana. I guess for Blair, she was maybe doing a little bit more than Kiana, but at the moment, Blair was like, all right, what do you do with her? So now you have her on SmackDown. You can maybe have her in a feud with Bayley. And then eventually, if you do decide to do or bring in a women's Intercontinental title or a women's U.S. title, she can be an interesting contender for that. So, but what do you think about Blair on SmackDown?
I gotta say, I disagree with the sentiment of her doing more than Kiana. Blair wasn't really she wasn't really winning anything.
Well, let me rephrase that. She was in more feuds than Kiana.
No, I don't believe that either. Kiana was a tag team champion at one point. Remember that?
Which I barely remembered the other day, but
well, yeah, no, I mean, still, history's history, facts is facts. But I will say this, though. I am upset that Blair got called up. Selfishly, because I wanted to see Blair versus Julia just one time in NXT, but we're gonna have to wait on that apparently, because I know those two will put on a fucking knockout drag out match. But Blair being on SmackDown or her calling up, totally fine with it. You need utility there, but she's gonna get lost in the shuffle, unfortunately. And I hate to say that because you got Bayley, you got Bianca, you got Jade. You know what I mean? So you got some big names there. You got Naomi, you got Nia Jax. Even though I'm not a huge fan of Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, right? It's like you got all these women in front of her, and you know what I mean? It's gonna be kind of hard to really climb up that division. So in my opinion, I really think that we may end up getting a mid-card title sometime this year or maybe next year. We have to. Because what are you going to be doing with all these women? Why are you going to be calling up all these women? Not all these women. It was really only a couple. But still, like, why are we kind of making these rosters the way they are without doing something new? And I think Triple H does want to do that. Now, are we going to get rid of the tag titles? I certainly hope so, because there are no tag teams. There are no women's tag teams to have a division. The men's, yes, you can name all the fucking tag teams. For the women, outside of Damage Control, who's really our tag teams on the main roster? I mean, Bianca and Jade Cargill, yes, they're about to become tag team champions. Chelsea and Piper Niven, okay, yeah, that too. But there's nothing else. There's nothing else, really. So, I don't know. Katana Chance and Kane Carr too, but still, that's not a division. The division needs to have storylines and more than just one or two storylines. Yeah, they need to break up. They need to break up these women tag team titles and make a fucking mid-card belt.
Yeah, agreed. What do you think, Rube?
Yeah, with Blair being on SmackDown, it was a surprise. But I do hope that they merge the women's tag division, because NXT is looking kind of barren as far as women's tag teams is concerned. And this makes sense, since the women's tag titles, they're not exempt from the rule, from the draft rule, like them being exempt. So definitely I would like to see that change happen. Just have the tag divisions merge, and it gives the tag division more depth, more of that division more depth, because it's looking a little barren. I don't know. They should just get rid of I would like for those women's tag houses to go away, but I mean, that's not going to happen anytime soon. But as far as Blair Davenport being on SmackDown, I think things pretty good. She would have been lost on Raw, so I think her being on SmackDown is a better fit.
All right. Next is the first pick of the entire draft, Bianca Belair. She's on SmackDown.
Oh yeah.
Again, she's gonna be in a tag team with Jade. They're more than likely gonna win this Saturday. the Women's Tag Team Championships, and they're going to be tag champs for a while, and more than likely going to probably have a feud sometime down the line. But what do you guys think?
She is definitely one of the top women stars in WWE, top 2, top 3, so no brainer to me.
All right. And Ruben?
Yeah, same. Like, definitely one of the top females in the division in the company, so no complaints here.
Next is from NXT, Carmelo Hayes, now officially on the main roster. He was already working matches on the main roster, but now he's officially on the main roster on SmackDown. Had a match against Cody Rhodes on Friday, which was fantastic to watch. A little kind of a scary spot where they were both trying to do their gymnastics bit, and Cody fell pretty bad on his the shoulder that he had surgery on, which I was worried about. And Cody just needs to stop doing shit like that, please. But Cody's fine, from what we know. There haven't been any announcements if Cody is injured or whatnot, but he looks fine. He shook it off and had a nice little moment with Melo after the match. Yeah, go for it. But yeah, Melo's on SmackDown.
Yep. Great pick. Great spot for him. Great match with Cody. Good. Future's bright. Love Melo.
Agreed. I like Melo. Did all he needed to do in NXT. He put over Trick, and now he's on the main roster. Let's see what he can do. And we already know what he can do. Next is Randy Orton, which makes sense because they're more than likely going to want to do a Randy and Cody feud. So, not really have no complaints about that. Justin.
Yeah, I already said I'm good with that.
I didn't see it. I'm sorry. Next is Nia Jax. She's on SmackDown, which I guess makes sense. She did all she needed to do on Raw, and now it looks like she's inserted into the women's title feud with Bayley. But yeah, what do you think?
Swippy swap pick. Good. Whatever. It's whatever.
All right. The Bloodline, which was a no-brainer. Sol Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Paul Heyman. Roman Reigns decided to take himself out of the draft. Which, okay. But the Bloodline stays on SmackDown as we all expected.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Next is AJ Styles. Again, makes sense because he's wrestling Cody. So it's kind of weird because he was late into the draft on Friday, but no one expects AJ to win. We all expect it to be a good match, but that's as far as we go. But yeah, AJ's still on SmackDown.
It's the house that AJ Styles built, so it only makes sense.
Yes, sir. Next is Andrade. Like you mentioned, we know where Charlotte's going. But yeah, it's good to see Andrade on SmackDown. Maybe he'll do something with Santos. Maybe wrestle. I don't know. Maybe he might even wrestle Logan Paul for the U.S. title. That should be a good match.
Maybe Legato is. Maybe he ends up joining Legato, even though they kind of did that thing a couple weeks before WrestleMania. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, happy for Andrade. I think this is a good spot for him.
All right. Where are we at? All right, and that was the last pick on TV. Here are the picks that happened after television, or after the show ended. Cedric Alexander and Ashante the Adonis as a tag team. Baron Corbin. The OC, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Michin. Giovanni Vinci, Tegan Knox, and Apollo Crews. Out of those choices, who do you see the most promising?
Vinci.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by Vinci because he has a look. I know in NXT he did his his Italian model gimmick. So I don't know what he's gonna do on the main roster. especially as a singles guy now. But I don't know. We'll see, because we never really expect what's going to happen. Apollo Crews, I love the guy, but at this point, he's the guy that's going to put over the other guy. Cedric Alexander and Ashante the Adonis. I'm interested to see how that tag team works out. And then everybody else, Baron Corbin, I thought, was putting on good wrestling matches in NXT, so it's interesting to see what he's going to do, back on the main roster, actually. But we'll see. Ruby's still there? I guess he's still going. But that was the draft, people. We went through the entire list. Out of everybody, actually, let's start with Raw. So, out of everyone that was picked on the Raw roster, who do you think got the biggest pickup from Raw?
The biggest pickup for Raw to me, I mean, outside the obvious ones, right?
Yeah.
Probably gonna go with Braun Breaker.
Agreed. And also Lyra. I want to see what Lyra does. I think she, the future is pretty big for her. And then, again, I'm biased because I like Dijak, so I want to see what Dijak does. SmackDown. Aside from the obvious big names, what did you like about SmackDown's picks?
That it wasn't all 100% top names. You got some names that are up and coming and on the cusp, and there's gonna be like I said, the land of opportunity. I can see someone even like Montez Ford even finally breaking out to his singles run on this SmackDown brand. I can see that happening.
Yeah. And then Carmelo Hayes obviously being the big pickup.
Well, yeah, obviously, yeah. I mean, that's like, duh.
Yeah, pretty much. Montez Ford, I mean, they've always been teasing about him being a singles guy. So we'll see. I kind of hope they push Pretty Deadly a lot better.
Gargano and Ciampa, I can see that being for the US title too, if it planned out right.
Which they were teasing that on Raw last week, where Ciampa, or not Ciampa, but DIY lost a match, and then Ciampa, instead of shaking hands, he just leaves the ring. So, teasing dissension with DIY. But that's the draft. The draft happened. What are your guys' thoughts? Post them in the chat.
I'll just let me ask you this: who are the top 5 wrestlers on each brand outside of the champions? So, like for me, for Raw is obviously Punk, McIntyre, Seth. Outside the champions, Gunther, and Jey Uso.
I mean, you pretty much named the Raw ones that I was going to name.
Well, yeah, and for SmackDown's a little bit more tougher. Outside the champions, LA Knight, Mello, AJ Styles. I mean, obviously, he's still very important. Randy and Solo.
I don't know if I would go with Solo. And I like Solo, but I don't know if I would go with Solo.
You would not go with Solo.
If we're talking about my personal top 5, everybody else you named, I was going to name. As far as like Solo, they're obviously going to push him as a big deal.
He's the number 1 monster on the brand right now.
Yeah, but here's my thing. I know it's kayfabe, whatever, but it's like he hasn't won a match since fucking November. So just, I know they want to put that rocket ship up his ass for obvious reasons, with the bloodline and everything else. But, yeah, I think Solo's a fair choice. Just my personal choice, I would say, as far as like wrestlers goes, Bianca.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine. Yeah, I would have picked Rhea too. You know what I mean? Like as far as like on Raw. So yeah, all
right.
Good pick.
Is Ruben back? Are you back, Ruben? Where the fuck did he go? All right, so that's the draft. What do you guys think? Post your thoughts below in the chat. Let me know what you guys think. What were your favorite picks of the night? What did you think about the underground match on NXT on Tuesday?
Fun. Did what I need to do. I didn't really get why main event night 2. Because usually, like the main events for like night 2 of these 2-week NXT pay-per-views are usually like the match. You know what I mean? I didn't think that was like the match of like, of Spring Break, in my opinion. But it was good. I thought it was fun.
It was fun, like you said. Did what it needed to do. It got Lola over, and Lola won, as she should have. I'm just a little confused as to what the rules of Underground are, because I would assume since there's no ropes and there's people there, like, you're not supposed to exit the ring until you like made your opponent tap out.
Yeah, it's like Josh Barnett's blood sport. There are no rules.
All right then. But Lola won, and I'm happy because Lola should be winning. Natalya should be putting people over. But let me text Ruben, see where the hell he's at. Give me 1 second. Alright. Where are you? Alright, let me put him. Everything good. Alright, so I guess before we get to Backlash, let's try to wait for Ruben a little bit. But as far as news goes, Ruben actually brought it up earlier. Eric Rowan has signed back with WWE, which is good. I thought he was a good utility player. I was always kind of baffled why he hasn't really signed with any major company for the past few years, but he's back. More than likely to be a part of the, I guess, the new Uncle Howdy, bit, which. Just it makes sense. It works. But I'm happy for Eric Rowan. Happy that he's got a job. I always thought he was pretty underrated. Like, I always thought he's surprisingly very good on the mic. Like, just that random time where he just starts talking. I'm like, wait, this guy could talk the whole fucking time. And not bad in the ring. Pretty decent guy in the ring. But what do you think about Eric Rowan being back?
Totally well deserved. Obviously, he's coming back to finish, quote unquote, a story for Bray. So I love that he's getting this opportunity again, and hopefully, and I won't say hopefully. I know that they will do Bray proud. So very happy for him. Very super happy for him. Super excited to see what he does.
Yes, sir. Another signing news: Camille Brickhouse has revealed that she's been signed with AEW since February.
Yep.
So she's going to AEW, as I think you and me talked about that last year, actually. Where we were just like, she could come to WWE, but at this point, like, the women's roster is kind of stacked as far as like big women.
Yeah.
And
I think you're a little bit more. I won't say heavy, but heavier. Her coming to WWE than I was. I believe I explained that there are a lot of women like her, Jade, Bianca, Raquel. Like, having Camille come in, like, it won't do anything for her. She won't fit in. She can fit in more in AEW because she'll look more unique in AEW because there's not a lot of women like her in AEW versus all the women that look like her are in WWE. So, yeah.
But how do you see her? What do you see her doing in AEW?
I don't fucking know. Tony Khan doesn't care about the women, so I don't know. But what I'm saying is, like, but if she were to come to WWE, it would have been the same, more or less the same thing. Like, what the fuck is she gonna fucking do in WWE? So she fits better in AEW. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's gonna try to book her like the new Jade, have her be on fucking Rampage and fucking Collision and whatnot, and go after the TBS title, win the TBS title, and just do nothing feuds on those shows. So, You know what I mean? So it's not. I'm happy for her. She's getting paid finally, right? Not saying she wasn't getting paid with the NWA, but she's getting paid now. Number one, but also number two as well. She can have her opportunity to become a bigger name, and maybe once women like maybe Bianca. I don't think Bianca's gonna leave anytime soon, but let's say Jake leaves, or let's say Raquel leaves, or whatever the case may be, then she can come to WWE. So she's still young enough.
I mean, this might be like her. I don't want to say stepping stone, but like eventually she probably could come to WWE. I mean, there's that's not out of the realm of possibility. So, but yeah, she's getting paid. If someone offered me that much money, I'd be happy. It's like, ooh, money, I can pay off my debt. So I wouldn't say no to that kind of money. But what do you think, Ruben?
And by the way, apologies for stepping out.
No.
I had to take care of something. As far as her being signed to AEW, WWE wouldn't have used her because they got Jade and everything, and I think AEW is a better fit. And of course, if someone's offering you boatload of money, take it, definitely take it. And it's just more for her to do in AEW, but again, I don't know. They can have all the women in the world in AEW, but if it's not being booked correctly, it doesn't really matter. So just time will tell with her being signed to AEW. But I mean, I like her. She was in the NWA, she was a presence on TV. So, time will tell with Camille. Just gotta wait and see. But I mean, for the most part, just another signing for AEW. I just don't see it, game changer, thrown around. They throw around the game changer phrase all the time. It's just another signing. Maybe they'll utilize her properly. We'll see. Time will tell. But yeah, just another signing.
All right. I'm going to skip the ratings if that's okay with you because they're running short on time. Backlash.
Just real quick, Collision got their second highest rating ever on Saturday because of the NBA playoffs, mind you, coming into it. So just want to make that quick little point there. But yeah, good for AEW, kind of, sort of. I mean, it is what it is, So
6 minutes. At 6 minutes, and they had a mill.
1.3 million. I think they had it at. Yeah.
Oh,
but for 6 minutes, and then everyone dipped. So
they saw a black heavyweight champion of the world. Like, oh, fuck this.
What the hell is this shit?
Wrestling's fake.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards more of that. It's wrestling. Change the channel more. Yeah.
Oh, God. But all right, this Saturday is Backlash in France. The first PLE in France. Is it really the first PLE in France before I say anything?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to clarify that. It'll be in the Deslines Chapelle in Lyon Metropolis, France. In the LDLC Arena, the tagline being Nightmares Do Come True. So far there's 5 matches. I don't know if there's going to be a 5th match, or 6th match, added on Friday, but we'll see. So far, we have Randy Orton, Kevin Owens versus the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, and Tama Tonga.
Bloodline's gonna win. Jacob Fatu will debut at this pay-per-view, possibly in the World Heavyweight title match, but I think he'll still be involved in this match, possibly. So, in my opinion.
Agreed. Bloodline's going over. Rube.
I'm super excited to see Tama Tonga. Super excited to see Tama Tonga.
Same. Bloodline's going over. It's just no way. You got to keep the momentum going with the Bloodline right now. And Tama Tonga, in ring is a PLE debut, in ring debut. They're pretty excited. And again, we'll see Jacob Fatu. Like, I can't wait.
All right. And I like Tama Tonga. I like his presentation. He's getting over. I like that he's getting over.
He's been this way for fucking years, man. I'm so finally glad that he's finally getting this opportunity, because obviously not everyone watched, New Japan. So being one of the original members of the Bullet Club too is just finally getting his flowers and seeing people finally see how great he actually is. So
agreed. Tag team match for the women's tag team championships. The Kabuki Warriors versus Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill.
Team for the Black is gonna win. If you don't know what For the Black is, then I'm gonna need you to get it together.
Yeah.
I'm not qualified to say that, so I will say I'm not the right guy to say that term. So I will say Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair will win the tag team titles.
Yeah, I'm going with Jade and Bianca.
All right. Triple threat match for the women's championship: Bayley versus Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton.
Bayley's winning.
Yeah, agreed. It should be a good match. Tiffany will have a great outing. Man, Tiffany's gotten some good exposure on these shows. I mean, her first PLE was Elimination Chamber in Australia, and she got a huge reaction there. Now she's in France, so let's see what the French think about Tiffy time. But Bayley's winning.
Vive le français!
Tiffy time. Ruben, what do you think?
Yeah, Bayley's going over. It's her first title defense, PLE title defense, so it makes sense for her to go over. But the match should be good.
Oh, yeah. Next is the World Heavyweight Championship match. Damian Priest versus Jey Uso. Priest winning with some fuckery. Like Justin mentioned, Jacob Fatu possibly coming out to fuck with the match.
Yep.
All right.
Damian Priest winning.
Damian Priest.
Well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out, right?
Oh, no, it doesn't. Ruben, what do you think?
Yeah, again, the match card seems very predictable, but it's what the story is, what happens after the match. That's what we're caring about. It's the aftermath.
I think in ring wise, this is going to be a very good show as well. To WWE standards, obviously. So,
all right. Lastly, what I'm assuming is the main event: Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles for the undisputed WWE Championship. Cody.
Cody. I had somebody. If they can prove me wrong, great. I would love to see it. All for it. But someone told me that I will just say that they don't like AEW. I'll just say it. But they said that this match is going to be better in ring than Ospreay and Bryan. That's a very tall task. Like, that's a huge task. Like, is this gonna be a great match? Yes, it is. But let's not compare that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even think they care to even have a match like that. They're out there to have a good match. They don't care if they get fucking 6.5 stars or wherever Meltzer rated it. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's gonna be a damn good match though. It's gonna be a damn good main event match though. It's the first time ever too between the two. So that's another good thing about it.
That's weird to think about. But this should be good. I mean, AJ's a physical freak at his age, and he's jacked. And then Cody's Cody. So this should be a really good match. Will it be a great match? We'll see, but it should be a really, really good match. And Cody's going to go over. What do you think, Rube?
Yeah, Cody's going over, but this match will be good. First showcase as, with Cody being champion. So, that's something to look forward to. And I think we're, this isn't going to be just a one and done. Like, we're going to have like a series with AJ. Now that the rosters are solidified, I don't see this just being a one-off. Because Cody and AJ do have history. You know, both being in Bullet Club. I believe different times. My memory.
Yeah, different times.
Yeah.
Cody was barely coming in. AJ was leaving. So
Yeah.
2016. And another thing too, that I will say about this match, because you know they're going to be against each other. I really truly think that this is going to be a statement match for Cody Rhodes as far as what type of champion he wants to be. Because remember with Roman Reigns title matches in his reign, it was more about full on story. Yes, Cody's got to tell a story, but I think Cody want to do the in-ring classic per se. I think this is going to be a statement match for sure.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to put it. Yeah, I think Cody's going to go on that route of I want to have good matches. So, we'll see. But that's Backlash, people. There might be an extra match added. I don't think it will, because usually with a lot of their overseas pay-per-views, they usually keep it to maybe like 5 matches, maybe 6 matches minimum. So we'll see. But should be a fun one, people. It's this Saturday at 12 p.m. Central Time. I believe 11 Eastern. So, and I had something planned. It was not really a story. It was kind of just like a fact, like a random fact thing. But we're running a little over time, so I'll probably just save that for another day. But we are done, peeps. We went through the draft. We did Backlash, and what are your thoughts? Let us know. But we're done. It's getting pretty late here, so we're gonna call it a night. As usual, I want to thank the man here, Justin.
Absolutely, it's always a fun time for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good show tonight. Good show tonight.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, fun show. Maurice says he needs sleep. What do you say? Monstrously or enormously? Ruben, and of course, I want to thank Mr. Ruben Prime for showing up here to bless us with his beardly greatness.
Thank you. Yeah, good show tonight. Yeah, a little bit of draft talk tonight. So yeah, just always good show. Had a good show for the both of you, and many more to come.
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. So pluggy plugs. The show, the experience, you can find anywhere where podcasts are distributed, like iTunes, like Apple, or iTunes and Apple are the same shit. iTunes, Spreaker, and just pretty much everywhere else that podcasts are put out. I also have a YouTube channel if you like watching podcasts, even though you can't really see anything. But if you have YouTube Premium, you can just turn off your phone.
It's kind of like just another way to listen to the podcast.
Pretty much another way to listen to podcasts, like Justin said. Yeah. And then Twitter X, I still call it Twitter because who cares?
It's Twitter.
It's basically Twitter. DY Experience, you can find me on there. I also have an Instagram page. I also have a Facebook page, which I don't use all that much. I just use it to post the shows. And yeah, that's where you can find me. Justin, tell the people about Spinebuster Tees.
Yeah, Spinebuster Tees, spinebustertees.com. You guys know everything pretty much already. Go on there, get yourself some great t-shirts. Get yourself like this one here that I'm wearing. You can probably see it, maybe not because my mic's in the way. But the Just Enjoy Wrestling t-shirt. Get this in red. Get this in black. Get this in white. Whatever color that you want to get it in. But also as well, other arrays of t-shirts on the website. The Weapons of Pro Wrestling t-shirt. The Jesus Christ is late. The Mommy t-shirt. The Match Types of Pro Wrestling. The Vanilla Midget. The I Am Pro Wrestling t-shirt, many other designs on spinebustertees.com. Also as well, get 10% off. Use the promo code that's on top of the page at checkout. Anything over $40, you get free shipping. Spinebuster Tees on Instagram. Follow me on there where I post everything that I get inside my shop. So keep up to date with that. Also have a Whatnot page as well. Check that out. If you cannot purchase or cannot come to the shop physically, you purchase through Whatnot to ship it out to you. And also as well, the major thing is Spine Buster Tees at Wonderland of the Americas here in San Antonio, Texas. Have many, many different things inside my shop, and I'm keep adding new things pretty much every day. Action figures, Funko Pops, trading cards, obviously t-shirts, lucha masks, socks, hats, trading cards, everything. Got everything inside my shop. So, stickers. A lot of people love stickers that I'm learning. But yeah, come and visit at Wonderland of the Americas. If you can't, buy a t-shirt. I really would appreciate if you support me on my journey. Buy a t-shirt on Spine Buster Tees. And SpineBusterTees.com.
You heard it here first, folks. SpineBusterTees.com is the place to work.
Support me. Like, I gotta, you know what I mean? I'm trying to grow an empire. Support me. It really means the world to me.
Support them. Support your tribal chief of wrestling stores. So put them ones up. But yeah, Spinebuster Tees peeps. If you can't make the trip to San Antonio, there's a website, and works just as fine. Ruben, talk to the people about Culture Attack or what have you.
Oh, sure. Well, Culture Attack is a show that myself and Drew are a part of. It used to be a Patreon exclusive, but love doing it with Drew, just talking about entertainment, pop culture, and the like, and a little bit of wrestling sprinkled in. And it's out of the paywall, so it's available for everyone to listen to. Right now, we're on Apple iTunes and on Spotify. It'll be on YouTube soon. We got a show coming up on the 13th, Lord willing, of this month. It's already May, which is insane. We talk about pop culture, entertainment, movies, TV shows, the like. We just opine on our thoughts of whatever, news topics, TV shows. We do reviews, movies, TV shows, the like, and just two guys just, shooting the shit about, entertainment and the like. And yeah, just, we'll try to upload, to the, podcast land, twice a month, knock on wood. And that's not all. I do plan on making a late night after dark version of the show that I cannot wait to do. I definitely cannot wait to bring it to you guys live. And we'll be doing Culture Attack live this coming the 13th of May. So definitely look out for that on definitely check out with me and Drew for more information, but definitely stay tuned for that. And find me on X, on Twitter at Mr. Ruben Prime, Instagram if you want, Mr. Ruben Prime. But yeah, just Culture Attack. Excited, can't wait for what's to come with Culture Attack. And with Drew, just enjoy the ride that myself and Drew are taking you on. So definitely stay tuned for more Culture Attack.
Yeah, if you also need help with the YouTube thing, let me know with the algorithm and stuff. I can help you with that stuff. So yeah, let me know.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely talk.
Yeah.
Definitely talk outside. Yeah. Appreciate it.
Justin, I forgot to talk to you about this. When do you want the next Q&A to be?
I don't know. Let me check my phone.
There's the 25th of May. There's a pay-per-view on that, but that's the Crown Jewel pay-per-view. So it's going to be on...
Oh, okay. So it's early in the day. Okay. When is well, are they doing double or nothing on? I'm so assuming it's on a Sunday.
Yeah, it's Sunday.
Yeah, okay. So I ain't got to worry about that. 25th should be fine, I guess. I just want to make sure there's no wrestling shows. Let me see. I gotta check my local wrestling. I know for sure there's no. I know for sure there's no Branded Outlaw because that's next weekend, which I'll be going to. Also, as well, that Izzy girl that was in NXT, she's fucking good, man. She's gonna be fucking good, man. She's gonna be really good, man. Oh, okay. MPW is 9. Oh, they're not having another show till June. Okay, yeah, 25th.
Yep. All right. So the 25th, people, will be the Q&A show for this month. I can see there's already people putting in questions, so go ahead, send your questions in. And May 25th will also act as a review show. We'll be reviewing, what was the pay-per-view? I think it was the King of the Ring tournament. Yeah, King.
Crown Jewel.
Yeah, King and Queen of the Ring.
Yeah.
So that should be a fun one. So May the 25th, people. I'll make sure to mark it down right after we get off here. Ruben, do you want me to put Culture Attack as for the 13th on here?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, God. All right, so we're gonna make that happen. So the 13th will be the first live show of Culture Attack, and May 25th will be the Q&A show for the month of May. So,
y'all doing it live like on YouTube or Twitch?
On here actually.
On the Discord.
Oh, okay. Not like live.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But anyways, peeps, we're done. And we will see you next week, same time, same channel. And just take care and peace out. And thank you to everybody that supports and loves the show and that are friends of ours. And we all love you in return. So take care, peeps, and good night.
Peace.